were in the military? How many
Um,
years and where?
I started out when I was a sophomore in high school. It's not the only lie I ever told, but it was one that didn't ever bother me. And what happened to me in the military thing is the Oklahoma 45th Division was activated, and Leo Marshall was the man that took care of the armory, uh, and he was a postal delivery man here. And Captain Jack Gordon was our lawyer, now deceased, was our company commander, and myself, Smokey Holland, 3 or 4 other guys went down and won. Basically, they took us in, and we did a lot of training. We went to Lawton numerous times, Fort Sill. That's another helped a little bit. Kind of liked the place, and then the order come through. We got to. This Oklahoma 45th going to go over there. We were a heavy weapons company then, tanks, 105s, Grands, M1, M2 carbine, M1 Grand rifle, and I was an instructor. I learned to be an instructor in those 3 weapons. So the governor, I forgot who he was back then, he said, no one in the 45th who's not not graduating this spring will not go be activated. So that ended my combat opportunity, but I stayed in for a while. But what I did then, when I got to Cameron, they still had it was mandatory ROTC, the ROTC unit there, and that fit right into so I ended up being, first it was a squad leader, and then I ended up a platoon leader, and I had the opportunity to do a pretty good job for them because of my background in the National Guard. But and by the time the Korean War was settling down, I was down there assigned out at the post, the regular Army post, to those guys who were getting out to work with them, check in their equipment, do the paperwork and all that sort of thing. And most all of them were my old guard guys that come out of Oklahoma, the 45th. But that was, and then I got another year. I went to work for Ed Hickson on the police department. Something I really wanted to do, and was doing great. Ed was. We were doing a lot of chasing the bootleggers, and we had letters from the governor. He said, "We got to shut this down. We're going to give the people an opportunity to vote on it. So why not? If we shut it down, then they'll have to. Half of those people will probably, they run polls, so will probably vote okay. The other half were the bootleggers, and that won't matter because we'll have them outnumbered." He said, in other words, dry the hell this county up. And we went after it. I've got pictures all over the place, big stacks of whiskey. I'm standing behind Ed Hickson over here, Cleo Wilson, big grin. "How much was that you boys get?" I said, "All of it. If we weren't honest, the schools wouldn't have got any, you know." And but anyway,
How many total years did you serve in law enforcement?
about 36, 37 months. But anyway, we were right in the middle of all this stuff, and the draft board nailed me again. I should have been through all that. I could have probably got out. And when we got to Oklahoma City, "Look, you've been already here. You probably could get out." And I thought, well, no, I need the experience. He said, the unit that you'll be training for will end up, you'll go to Fort Chaffee, you'll leave there, and you'll go to Germany. It was mostly, what was it, occupation troops or something over there. And, but anyway, we were out one day. I took my group out, and they hauled us out in trucks and let us out. And down at Chaffee, there was some big cliffs and kind of rough country down in there. There were a lot of copperheads and rattlesnakes. Dewey got mixed up in that when he was down there. And we were down in there working around. And they had these ropes that went up the cliff. They were already in place, and they let us out. And we worked for about 2 hours there, and then the guys wanted to try that rappelling. So we were messing around, just playing, having fun with it. One kid got almost halfway up, and down he come, and everybody would laugh, and they'd say, they wanted me to say, why don't you try it? And I said, all I got to do is reach way up there, and I'm at the top of the rope. Yeah. Anyway, I started up like this, and I'd never done that before, but you got to use your legs. And you got to keep the rope in the loop. And I got up there, and boy, everything gave way, and down I went. They put me in a truck, hauled me back to the hospital, and I stayed 51 days before I was released. I had a cast on from here, totally immobilized in the right arm. And it was, before it was over with, I felt like an employee rather than, but that ended my military. Went straight back to law enforcement.